Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mirror List Monday, right here on the Eat Sleep List YouTube channel. My name is Matt Johnson, your host, and with autumn just around the corner, I want to talk about and celebrate my personal favorite season. Let's make a list. So maybe I should have been doing this all along, and by this, I mean honing in, celebrating the various seasons that we get to experience, because I have appreciation for all four of them. There's fond memories and certain things that just feel right with every single season. I love spring. I have love for summer. I have love for this month or this season. That's why we're celebrating it. And of course, winter is just around the corner, and I definitely have a lot of love for that too. But there's something about fall that I find joyous, especially after summertime. You know, it's so nice. Like coming up through school, we all looked forward to summertime. Couldn't wait till classes were done at the end of June. All those weird come in, take your test, and go home type deals. I couldn't wait for summertime to get here because it meant freedom and friends and stuff, vacations, theme parks, festivals, fairs, and beaches, and so much more. But as an adult, summertime it can be absolute hell. It can. Everybody wants to do stuff during the summertime, so everything's quite busy. And not only that people want to do stuff and everything is busy, but people like to book stuff up on weekends, weddings, all right, birthday parties, and so many other things to have to go to. It almost feels like summertime feels like survival for me. And hopefully, as long as we're doing this show next summer, I'll be able to sell my love of summertime a little bit better. I gotta bring us down to bring us up again with fall. But like every single weekend, it's like, okay, we're gonna do this thing, and then your weekend's done. You work for the whole week, and then on to the next thing. All right, hitting benchmark after it's like hitting benchmarks. Okay, one thing from another. You literally have no time to enjoy it. At least I don't. It is hard to do summertime as much as I got to do this past summer. It was hard to take it all in, sit back and enjoy it because there was always something to do. You never had a day where you can just reflect and appreciate it. But fall is different because fall, at least for myself, things tend to slow down considerably. It's a lot cooler out. All right, going from high 80s and 90s like we did here in Western New York down to, all right, the morning's going to start off extra cool, and it's going to warm up through the day. Maybe you hit 80, but mostly it's going to be in the mid-70s. It's going to progressively get cooler. That's more my speed, and that's it's my comfort zone. But the pacing's nice because I feel when it comes to fall time that I get to do things that I want to do. Not so much stuff is booked during the fall time. Yeah, there's some beautiful fall weddings, but not everybody's trying to shoehorn stuff in. Now, kids are back to school, and people take their weekends to themselves, leaving myself open to do fun stuff as I see fit. I see fall in two different ways. I see it as a bit of a rebirth and also as a bit of a reset. Now, the rebirth part comes from all those years of schooling. All right, summer vacation, having off for 10 weeks or however long it was, and then this new school year usually starts, at least here, for some in August, but here in Western New York, it was always September. And there are a lot of things that begin in September. We're going to talk about those because we are celebrating things that we like about fall today. But, I look back to when I watched TV heavily. All right, now it's a little bit more like, okay, this new show is coming out. New shows come out all the time on streaming service. But, you always heard growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, oh, the new fall lineup is here, a new season of this, a new season of that. Usually things didn't happen much during summertime. Usually people took those times off. They used it to plan TV shows. Like there's just such a feeling of rebirth that comes with this time. But the reset part is also interesting too, because again, summer is so hot and sometimes green and different, colorful. But you think blue beaches, green grass, and yellow, red for the sun, and then now things start to decay. Right? Things start to reset. We're going close to winter. And everything is resetting. The leaves are going away. The flowers are going away. The beaches don't look so inviting. All right? They look a little gloomy. Right? The sun is starting to go away. The sun's not out nearly as much as it was. The mornings are darker later. And the evenings come a lot faster than they did during the summertime. And it's cool. It's a little haunting, but it's cool. I like the reset feeling. All right, okay, we got all that spring and summertime stuff out of our system. We're going to reset. The only thing I don't like about autumn is how quick it feels. I feel like it's the fastest season. Like, at least lately, it's felt like there's just summertime. I guess spring feels pretty quick too, but I feel like it's just like summertime and wintertime nowadays. I don't know. Like, weather-wise, it's kind of like what it's felt like to me, at least as an adult. I'd feel like as a kid, autumn felt a little bit longer, a little bit more special than what it does now, but it definitely comes in quick. I mean, it depends on where you're from too, because there's been times here in Western New York where, summertime's coming to a crawl in September, and we have snow by the end of October, and it doesn't go away. That doesn't go away till February or March or sometimes even April. So there are certainly times where I feel like fall is the short season, but yeah. I love it. We're gonna celebrate it today. Let's move on. I tend to look at the changing of seasons metaphorically, and that there's lessons to be had looking at it. If you look at it through that kind of lens. All right. I talk a lot on this show about controlling what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. And unless you're talking to a conspiracy theorist, all right, we cannot control the weather. That is an environmental factor that we have no say in. All right, we cannot control the temperature or the precipitation or the way our environment looks during the changing of seasons, during the middle of seasons. We have no say in that. But we learn, we adapt to whatever is to come. All right, we're talking about fall, and fall is after summertime. Summertime is, what we talk about attire. All right, shorts, tanks, flip-flops, sandals, and so much more. A lot of that stuff isn't the best kind of clothing for fall time as the weather gets cooler. All right, the length of our clothes starts to get a little bit longer as we inch towards winter time. We adapt and adjust to something that is beyond our control. Beaches during the summertime. Man, May, June, July, early bits of August, it looks super refreshing. right? And in the dead heat of summer, that blue water is just perfect, quintessential. All right, the sand and just all the entire experience of going on a beach is just meant for summertime. But as we start to get towards fall and the colder months, that water seems less appealing. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't look nearly as blue as it did a couple months ago. And it's beyond summertime. It's not really the place to be. We adapt and adjust and start doing fall things. And it's a metaphor for our own lives. All right. We are in so many different environments: work environment, home environment, social environments, that things change, and they change quick. And your ability to adapt to that change is quintessential for your survival, for your peace, for your happiness, for your mental health. All right? This is probably looking at this way deeper than I probably should, but this is the way that I see the world. Lessons. All right? And the changing of seasons is a perfect example. Wait till wintertime. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot of lessons to be had from that. Right? It's funny because how we can't wait. We're always excited for stuff to get here. Summertime, we're like, okay, man, can't wait for the weather to get a little bit cooler. And then when the weather gets cooler, oh man, can't wait till the weather warms up a bit. And so on and so forth. And I think it's just a good opportunity to sit back and relax and appreciate what we are experiencing in the limited time that we do have with some of these seasons. Embrace it and change with it. Okay? There's a lot of things that you could do in summertime that you can't do in fall. There's a lot of things that you can do in fall that you can't do in wintertime. And it just so on and so forth. So you got to enjoy it and do the things that are appropriate for each season while you still can, because they will go away. And I think it's a good lesson in appreciation and enjoying the moment that we are in. All right, everybody, it is time for my favorite part of every single video that we do. It is time for the top 10 list. As I always encourage, please feel free to comment along, whether it's in our comment section, whether it's via email, eatsleeplistpod@gmail.com. Whatever it may be, feel free to send your list in, your favorite top 2, 5, 10, however many it may be. But for this specific one, your favorite aspects of fall, or top 10 fall things. These are my top 10. These are things that I look forward to every single time that summertime is coming to a halt, and the wonderful season of autumn is why did I say it like that? The wonderful season of autumn is here. So let's get to it. My top 10 favorite fall things. Number 10. I hate cutting the lawn. I do. It's not fun for me. I do it. It's a lot. Let's just say that. It is a lot. It especially during the summertime too, it can become, it's overwhelming. You cut it, and before you know it, yeah, I don't know. Maybe when going from spring to summertime, or winter to springtime, you start to appreciate the lawn cutting process some. But I don't know, because I usually end up having to do it after work, which is the last thing I want to do. But it's got to be done, so I try to lean into it. I just want to get it done. I come home sweaty, dirty, disgusting from work. All right, let's just get to it and cut the lawn, because I'm going to be sweaty, dirty, and disgusting after that as well. So the lawn cutting season being over or almost over is wonderfully enticing. I have only actually cut my lawn once since July. Yes. And it was actually probably a couple of weeks ago, and I may only have one more lawn cutting to go. It's been so hot and not much rain that the grass hasn't been growing nearly as quickly. Got a lot of weeds coming up, and that's usually what needs to be cut down, but I like that I don't have to be out there all the time. I like that I can come home and actually relax. All right, there's the pulling up, coming back home from work and having to see your lawn grown and overgrown, so to speak, is it's not enjoyable. It is not a fun sight, and I want to just destroy it as soon as I get home. So it is nice that I get to come home and chill out, at least until the snow starts falling. So that's my number 10. Number 9, I picked a flannel today because I love flannel season. Used to be all that I wore, to be perfectly honest with you. It was a bit of a fashion statement for myself, somebody who grew up wearing graphic T-shirts all of the time and all sorts of different graphic hoodies, I guess. But flannel was probably like the first fashion trend that I ever really got into, and it's pretty cool. I like the material. I like that it usually comes with it. I like the different patterns and color combinations. It looks right. I don't know. Like you can wear like flannel during winter time, but it doesn't like feel wintry, if that makes sense. Like I hope this all makes sense. But like wearing flannel, it's nice. Like I got it long sleeve right now, even though it's probably a little short for my arms. But if it's too hot, I can just roll up the sleeves and it's good to go. If I get too hot internally, I can just roll up the sleeves and go. Where wintertime feels like a lot of hoodie weather, a lot of heavy jacket kind of weather. But flannel season to me is just right. It is perfect and probably my favorite clothing fashion. Maybe that's a list that we could do sometime. But that's my number 9. Number 8, scary movies just hit better during the fall time. All right, as those nights start to wind down at 8, 7, o'clock at night, nighttime just feels differently. And of course, that means watching scary movies. I cannot wait to do some of our fall-themed lists, especially once October gets here, all right, which is basically a month of scary, spooky stuff. And there will be a scary movies list. I cannot wait to do that, but they just hit differently. I don't know. I don't enjoy watching scary films in the summertime or even the winter time. And obviously, this is kind of like I guess is it a bit of a social construct like that we view this time of year the way that we do? But yeah, scary movies just hit better during autumn. And then after Halloween, I don't know. I'm moved on. Like from like late September to October. I know there's a whole culture of people who do scary movies all year long. But to me, month and a half between September and the end of October, scary movies are the best and hit differently. So that's my number 8. Number 7, I'm going to go hayrides. They're fun. I mean, it can be a haunted hayride. It can be a regular, just a regular hayride. I enjoy it. The haunted ones are fun. It's creepy. It's scary. I went on one last year. And it was a pretty good time. But even if you're just going on a normal hayride, it's just kind of cool to sit and relax and enjoy this sort of thing, right? My good friend Bill, we call him Super Beast. I know him through wrestling, but he used to love getting hayride groups together during this time of year. And I wish I would have taken him up on one or two of those. But yeah, hayrides are a good time. That's my number 7. Number 6, I was just talking about it with my number 8 entry, It is the spirit of Halloween. All right. I am not like, now that I'm a dad, I can start to enjoy and appreciate Halloween again. I can see things. I can see certain holidays through my kids' eyes instead of my own. I didn't care for Halloween after a certain age, partially because I never got invited to Halloween parties as a high school or college kid, I guess. Well, there was that one time, and then I just blew it off. But I don't know. The aura around Halloween is so fun, and I love seeing the decorations. Shout out to people who still decorate their lawns. All right, there's still a lot of people who do it, but I love to see how creative people get. Some of these giant skeleton decorations, all the cool blow-up stuff. I love that. And as a kid, like through the holidays, that was our one of the best things to do is hop in a car and let's just go have a chill night. All right, whole family, we're going to ride around and just scope out cool houses with decorations. They do contests. And it was publicized in papers and stuff. And you just go check them out. And Halloween was always really, it was a really cool one. Where my Mima lived, I remember we always had to turn a corner, a certain corner to her house. And ironically enough, that corner was, I had an apartment on that in that area. But there was a house that had I believe it was all four of the main kind of monsters. Actually, I don't even know now. I know there's a Frankenstein. I know there's a Dracula. I'm pretty sure there was a mummy, and there might have been one more. But it had flashing lights it was a big window, and you could see through it. But I remember this vividly. But it had flashing lights, and it was cool and scary, and it was one of my favorite parts of going to my Mima's house during that time in my life. And that's, to me, exciting stuff. I love to see how creative people get with their Halloween decorations. As a football fan, I love watching people like Myles Garrett and some of these defensive players have their quarterback sack graveyards. I think that's the coolest thing. There's a lot to look at. I love it. So the spirit of Halloween, obviously, I get to see it a little bit differently, and like seeing my kid dressed up, I love, but the spirit of Halloween and a lot of the things that encompass it are one of my top 10 fall things. Number 5, I haven't had the chance to do this in a long time, but one of my favorite dates that I ever went on with my now wife was apple picking. All right, we did it at a place called Becker Farms here in Western New York. Which was a hotbed for it. And silly old me, I bought way too many apples. I bought a big old bucket of it. I didn't know how to apple pick properly. All right, what was the right amount? So I just got a giant bag of apples. But it was cool, like the concept of, all right, here's a bunch of fruit, pay X amount of dollars, here's a bag, go and pick it. Like it was something peaceful and special and fun about that. And I like it. You go, you look, you analyze. Oh, this is a perfect piece of fruit. Pick it, throw it in your bag, and you move on. And it was a really great date. It was a really great date. I hope I get to do it again. Especially now with my son, to go apple picking. I think it'd be fun. All right, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've gotten to do it. A lot of fruit picking in general, I think, is just works during the fall. I'm not sure. I feel like berries are more of a summertime one, but yeah, apple picking. That's my number 5. Number 4, as somebody who loves photography and a lot of just earthy stuff, being in great environments, I love fall foliage. All right, I don't live too far away from the Niagara Gorge, and it's such a cool sight to see when it's fall colors, right? The browns, the oranges, the sometimes purples. All right, I'm looking at the Niagara Gorge, and it's surrounded by all these trees. And, wintertime, You can see a lot because there's nothing on, there's no leaves. It's just barren trees. Springtime, all right, the greens are starting to come back. Summertime, fully green. But autumn is perfect to look at that, to look at the Niagara Gorge and see so many pretty colors. Oh, man. I wish like I could properly capture it in a photo. I really haven't tried much. Maybe I should this year. But it's a beautiful sight to behold. Wooded areas especially. There's certain roads that I've driven on. When I was laid off of work, I used to travel anywhere I can go and try and get nature photography done. And some of these wooded areas with the fall foliage, just beautiful to be around of. It just feels different, right? It has a fun aura to it, being in the middle of it. I got to seek out more of this stuff. But fall foliage is my number 4. Number 3, bonfires hit differently during the fall time. I enjoy having, these small fires, bonfires, etc. During the summertime, it's a nice way to do it, but it just feels better during this time of year, right? During fall, because the nights are a lot cooler, so you appreciate the heat a lot more. I love huddling up next to a fire pit, and I got it's shorts and hoodie weather, which I think is another great thing. I didn't put it on my top 10 list, but that's usually the move, right? It's balance. You're just cool enough, but just warm enough, and that bonfire just hits great. It just feels so much better when it's heat on heat, right? It's the middle of summertime and you got a fire going. Yeah, it's still a nice time. That aura, that feeling of being around a fire pit is always nice, but it feels different and better as the weather starts to get cooler. So bonfires, fire pits, etc. Just hit better during fall. That's my number 3. Number 2, flavors. All right, apple, pumpkin. Somebody mentioned cinnamon, which I never really thought of. I'm so closed-minded that it was really apple and pumpkin season, but fall flavors are really good, really good. When it comes to coffee, people are busting them out. I like the different ciders. All right, I don't drink hard cider anymore, but like apple cider is really nice, and it was like a hard apple cider back in the day was really good. Pumpkin flavor, donuts. I used to love pumpkin flavored beer when I drank. I forgot who did it, but it was called Pumpkin. And what a great beer that was. What a great beer. If you drink, all right, and are looking for a great fall beer, try a pumpkin, or Angry Orchard Red Apple or some of these other apple flavored stuff. But there's so much that goes in with fall, and it's just stuff that hits differently during this time of year. So that's my number 2 is the fall flavors. And number 1, football season and football weather. If I am asked, which I am not asked much, I will go and play 2-hand touch, flag football, whatever it may be. And it's just better during fall time. All right. And even like going to games, I feel like it, obviously the season starts towards the twilight of summer, all right, first week of September. And it eventually becomes like this fall thing. But I used to love it. I used to love playing in it. And I love going to games in it, especially here in Buffalo. Because it was shorts, it was hoodie underneath the jersey kind of weather. And it was great. And then when I did drink, you go to these games and you drink in the tailgate to stay warm, and it holds you over throughout the game. It's hard to explain if you've never been to an outdoor football game before, about how the weather makes it all feel, how it just encompasses it and makes it feel special. But I do. And now that I've been able to push back and not get so enthralled in football culture year-round, not get too wrapped up in it, but find reasons to enjoy it, make it feel more special. I appreciate it. I appreciate football weather. I appreciate playing in it and getting to watch it live. It's significant. So there it is, everybody. My top 10 fall things. Again, make sure you comment. If you are not subscribed, please do. I would certainly appreciate it. I am hoping that we can get to 200 subscribers by year's end. I think we can do it. And I thank everybody who is subscribed and contributes and watches. Yeah. So this is a little bit more on the fun side. Next Monday, we're going to get very heavy again, and we'll cross that road when we get there. But we have some more. We have a fun list on Friday that I'm excited to get to. So till then, have a great week. I love and appreciate you all. And until next time, do you even list?